I don't know why 4chan has the reputation of the worst site of the internet. Like, if you go on 4chan now, it is true that you're going to find a lot of dangerous and harmful language. A lot of people are doing racismus on the keyboard by typing words that your mother would disapprove. But other than that, at least they have a kind of coherent ideology on most boards. Like it differs from place to place, but you kind of get what would piss off the people there, like what you would have to do in order to anger the users. And again, like, this is considered to be the worst website on the internet, like horrible, horrible place. Meanwhile, places like Twitter are considered spaces for the normal people, the good, decent individuals of society. And when you look at how they behave, it is true that they do not have a potty mouth most of the time. At least they do not do racismus on the keyboard by dropping the rap lyrics. But they do organize and go after innocent people, whether they're VTubers or game developers, often targeting women with life ruinating stuff. I mean, their intention is to get that person to go off the internet, to ruin that person financially. And these are the normal folk. These are the citizens that everyone else should strive to be as. And if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, recently there was this game which went viral, The Coffin of Andy and Lele, and it was made by one person. A female developer which made everything from the opening soundtrack to the art to the coding, and she manages to sell, I believe, around 140,000 copies. And since it's $10 a piece, I would assume that she made over $1 million. Maybe somewhere even close to 2 million, because there are other platforms that I didn't take into account where the game is still selling. So it was a huge success. I mean, the public loved this. The chance of her making this into a franchise was there. But unfortunately, you have the normal people on Twitter, and one of them got upset that in one of the endings, it is implied, like, there's nothing explicit or anything like that. It's just like implied that in a dream, in this video game which treats themes of Satanism and demonic sounding and murder and cannibalism, yes, in this game, which is obviously meant to offend, there is a dream sequence where it's implied that incest happened, right? So some Game of Thrones level shit. And the normal people on Twitter were freaking out about this. Like, how is it possible that in fiction you can treat such a theme? Why is an author allowed to have creative freedom? Why do we as a society permit for hundreds of thousands of people to enjoy something? So they go and they attack the author. Now, the author does what any sensible person should do, and tells them to cry about it. And it's at this point where the normal people lost the plot. Like, they started losing their shit because they do not like to have their authority questioned. Like, the keyboard warrior absolutely despises when someone questions their authority. And they did their best in order to try to destroy this game. But unfortunately, the keyboard warrior, the normal people in our society, are very few in numbers. Like we live in a crazy society. Normal people are far and few between. Usually you find them on Twitter. The abnormal people were supporting this game, and the voices of the normal people were marginalized because, again, like they were complaining about shit no one cared. Like, we live in the age of Drag Kids Story Hour. We live in the age of people walking naked during marches and stuff. No one gives a fuck about a video game, right? And the reality is that they probably didn't either. It was just like the type of person that they wanted to ruin that week. Like, unless they go after someone, unless they try to target someone, they literally can't sleep at night. So, noticing that they can't give bad reviews, they can't review bomb, they can't do anything, eventually they had to dox this person. And this is a lady who values her privacy. Her social media account was almost non-existent. Myself and Arch tried our best in order to invite her on the Archcast, but not gonna happen, especially not now. Suffice to say, like, she just wants to make video games. Like, she's not interested in politics, she's not interested in any of this. She just wants to make video games and be left alone. So when they doxed her, she sold her game to a new developer called Kit9. And they posted this on their Steam page saying that they're a team of freelancers which will handle the programming. They'll do our best in order to support and continue to create this game. But on a sadder note, the developer has decided to permanently and completely terminate their activities online from here on. The best way to show support is by focusing your discussions towards the game and not the developer, which wishes to be left alone. There will be no communication on informing forwarded for the developer from this point onwards. They are choosing to remain completely in the dark and to continue their work happily offline. Other than that, Kit9 Studios is stepping into the role of owner and publisher. The developer of The Coffin of Andy and Lele will continue to proceed with no changes in plans. The devlog for December will still be delivered as originally promised and will be the final words of the developer. All future game announcements afterwards will be handled by Kit9 Studios. Going forward, discussions about the developer of this project are considered off-topic and will be removed. You know, when someone says it's like, why aren't you woke? Like, why don't you like wokeness? Do you lack empathy? What's wrong with being kind? This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. Kotaku, Polygon, any of the progressive journalists will refuse to condemn this. They will not even cover this story. You will not even hear IGN talk about it. Not because people aren't interested in the story, because they definitely are. Like it's all over Twitter, it's all over Reddit. An indie game developer that managed to make $2 million. She's a woman and is being run off the internet by the advocates for women. Is definitely a story. And it would be worth getting covered, but they will not do that. Because it's not about championing for people's rights. It's not about people that are marginalized. It's all about a couple of deranged individuals on the internet getting on a power trip, trying to ruin the life of others. And this is why most people are anti-woke. Because we don't listen to what they say, we look at their actions. And they're absolutely despicable. Despicable folks, despicable individuals. And what usually they do, after trying to target this person for months, and after doing their best in order to condemn, shame, you know, whatever possible, they then step back and say, well, you know, like, we didn't do it. Of course we don't agree. I mean, of course I don't agree. You know, I don't support the fact that she was doxxed. I was just, like, constantly trying to slander her name and encourage other people to dislike her. But like, I didn't want to. You're going to see the backtracking. It's the same with the VTuber scandal. With the Hogwarts Wizard game. Like they went on a rampage, you know, like constantly being deranged about that game, constantly egging other people on to hate it. And when VTubers got when VTubers got doxxed and when they got attacked, they were like, "Oh, well, we didn't encourage that. No, like not that. Oh no, I washed my hands on the whole thing. Like, please spare me. Your likes are public." You know, like for the developer of this game, I do understand, like, she made her money. But this could have been a franchise by her, right? Like, she could have been in charge of the development. She could have done more sequels. This is how actual AAA companies get built. Like, for example, CD Projekt Red. It started off with the first Witcher game, which apparently was a mod for Neverwinter Nights. A glorified mod, but still. And it was so successful that they had the money to make the sequel. And then they had the money to make one of the best games ever made, which is Witcher 3. So it is possible, like, there have been indie companies that started off very small with a dedicated team of developers. They end up making something great, and then it just grows from there. Apparently, this is not going to be the case. And, you know, like her previous games on itch.io and on other websites, they're now deleted and nobody's ever going to play them. So, congratulations, normal people. I guess you won again. Culture is now safer. What exactly was that accomplished here? I'm genuinely curious. Like, what was the danger that this lady possessed? And how is it better now? I wish I could talk with one of these people that attacked her, unironically. Like, I wish I could have just a normal conversation behind the scenes where there's no audience, where they don't expect a standing ovation, and I will be like, well, why did you do this? What exactly? No, seriously, like, what exactly did you get? What did this lady do to you? And why did she deserve to be doxxed? Why did you want to run her off the internet? Why did you think it was a bad idea for people to enjoy a work of art? You know, it would be an enlightening conversation, but unfortunately, I don't think it will happen. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.